Hey, what's up? Welcome to another edition of On the Spot. I'm Ron McDonald. Joining me today is Alex Navarro. What's up, buddy?
Yo.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Are you ready for E3?
No.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
it's a little nuts.
Yeah, no, it's like we're leaving like 2 days from now.
Yeah.
And then next week, Wednesday is the first day of the show. Monday and Tuesday is the action with the press conferences.
It's unreal, man.
It is crazy.
It's unreal.
Huh?
It's coming up this quick.
For the folks at home that are watching us, you can see that our studio has been changing, and I'll let you know a little secret. The whole reason why our studio has been changing over the last few weeks is in preparation for E3. We've been trying to get our groove on so that we can make sure that we can do what we're going to do down at E3. And if you haven't read the page yet, it's pretty unbelievable what we're going to do, huh?
Oh, yeah.
24 hours of live streaming video over the course of 3 days?
I don't know how we're going to do it, but I can't wait.
I know, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I mean, some of the games that we're going to have live on our stage at the show, Batman Begins.
Oh, yeah.
Madden. You know, I don't want to give it all away, but yeah, definitely you got to come back and check. And yeah, I mean, Monday I think is the day that we're going to talk a whole lot about E3. Today we're going to have a few more surprises and snippets. Of course, there's a bunch of people right now waiting to hear about the new Xbox that I think people are all waiting and hyped to see what MTV is going to show.
I'm jazzed to see it. You know, I want to know what they're going to show. I want to see it all.
I don't know exactly what they're going to show, but I can tell you that you're going to definitely want to come back to GameSpot.com around the 6:30 time frame and look for some stuff on the new Xbox. Right?
Might have some business for that.
Yeah,
totally. I think so.
It could be here. But enough about what we're doing for E3. Let's talk about the magic of the Star Wars.
Yeah, because Star Wars is so much more important than E3.
Now, we had the game. We literally ran out to the store and bought it last week. You have since reviewed it.
Yeah.
We seem to be a little bit happier with it when we had it for the first 10 minutes. But
it leaves a better initial impression than it does over time. Like when you start playing, you're like, oh yeah, no, this could be cool, and then about 2 hours later, when you're still fighting real easy droids, and then 2 hours later the game's over, then you're just sort of like, oh man, that ain't so cool.
But for Star Wars fans, it's kind of neat to see as much footage. Do you expect as much footage to happen?
No, I didn't. I did not expect that much movie footage. There's a whole lot of movie footage from the film in the game. Like the ending is in there. Like
it's crazy.
It's a truncated version of it, but
right.
like you get to see all you need to see out of that ending.
It's kind of weird how they did it, and I think it probably makes perfect sense how they kind of cut out a lot of you don't really see Amidala once in that game, right?
No. Yeah. Natalie Portman is nowhere in that game, and it is. Yeah, it's just the parts that you need. Like all the exposition and all that stuff is out. Though it is also kind of disappointing because all the drama behind the action is just sort of gone.
Right. There's a little bit of drama, like that middle part, and they're up high in the window, and the one dude.
I get. Yeah, there's a little bit. But it could have been a lot better.
But here's the cool thing: if we get a shot of this, is once you go ahead and whether you use codes, and that's the thing is I guess you can go through and bust all these guys out. But let's go ahead and take a look at this screen if we can. It shows all these selectable characters. I mean, you got Anakin Skywalker, you got Obi-Wan, you got Count Dooku, you got General Grievous. You got Mace Windu. I'm actually surprised, and I wonder if it was a play balancing issue. I'm actually surprised that you don't see Yoda up in here.
Yeah, I mean, there is a stage where you play as Yoda in the bonus mission.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he plays real weird because he's so small. It's like every time he attacks, he jumps. So it's real hard to get a good feel for it. And, I don't know, these two characters are really dumb, if you ask me. The ones they, sort of threw in here for... I think they're just in the game. I don't think they're even in the movie.
No, I think you're right. I mean, I think the animated portrait kind of gives that away. Yeah. But the neat thing is, in the game, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, that's the one thing I did really like about the game, was when you get to those battles with these guys, I mean, it's not necessarily impossible, of course, but it is a little bit of a challenge, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit. You know, I mean, once you kind of figure out how the AI works and that you can really use the block button kind of to death, it takes some of the fun out of that, but... when you're playing with friends, it's definitely better.
Let's see what happens here.
All right. Yeah,
I want to see what's going to happen.
I'm going to get my Grievous on.
Should we give the little bonus level up here?
Yeah. I like this level.
This is a good level. For those folks that are Star Wars fans at home, you'll recognize. I mean, the Death Star kind of gives you a clue, but there's a bonus duel match basically.
Yeah.
This should be interesting.
Yes, this should be interesting.
It's time to die.
That giant 4 lightsaber robot.
Do you have any predictions? You think you're going to win?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Oh.
All right, here. Oh, check it out. I'm blocking everything you're hitting.
Oh, yeah, check it out. Why don't you block this punk-ass robot? Oh, that's pretty good.
You didn't block that.
I'm blocking that, though. What's up? I'm coming back. Oh, what's up? You can't turn your back and expect to get away with it. Oh, you're doing pretty good. You're doing better than I thought you would. But, General Grievous he's a brute. What's up, Force Heal?
I don't actually know what that does.
It's like this charge move thing.
Oh, okay.
All right, now you're in trouble.
Yeah, because you backed me into a corner.
Oh yeah, let's check
You
this
can
out.
hella do that.
Man, I cannot move Grievous for the life of me.
This is not. Yeah. Oh god. Oh, there you go. Stabbing you. Stabbing you is what I'm doing.
Look at me, force heal. What's up?
And yeah, I can't do that because I ain't got no force.
That's right,
I'm a robot.
You are totally a robot.
Yeah, robots don't get force powers. That is the moral of this story. So next time I'm going to go totally play as someone who has force powers because
You go. Oh,
that doesn't like unbalance the game or anything.
No, you know, Grievous has got those 4 sabers and he's got that spin move where he spins all 4 lightsabers. That's pretty rough.
Yeah, it's.
Oh. So
Yeah, that's right. I'm jumping back here.
So as we're playing this, and I'm totally whipping you,
Yeah.
the question I have for you is, I mean, it's not really a question because I kind of know the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyways for folks at home.
Yeah.
This game is totally good enough for like a rental, right? Because you can see everything.
If you're like way into the Star Wars, like you got the bed sheets and everything, then yeah, by all means, you should probably give this one a rent and just sort of like check out, you know, the movie footage and just sort of like take, you know, do a few of these lightsaber battles because, you know, I mean, they're cool enough. You know, they're not a long-lasting experience that you're going to cherish forever or anything. But you know, there's a little bit of fun to be had. It's just, you know, don't put too much stock in the single player because it ain't there.
The one thing I'll tell you is I'm going to cherish that match forever. Actually.
Oh, I'm sure you are. I told you before we came in here you were probably going to whoop me because you've been playing this game. Like, I haven't played this since I reviewed it. So
all right. So there was that awesome match. Should we show any of the folks at home anything else?
I mean, we could show them some of the bonus mission stuff.
Show them that real quick. That's the one thing. Now, here's the one biggest complaint I have about this game.
Oh, I gotta switch controllers with you in order to do this.
I'll let you drive. The one complaint I have is why didn't they make it? I understand that it kind of would break like the continuity of having 2 people, and then you get to a point when only one guy can do something.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just give you the option to play all those single player games with that second character that's there?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's like they had this. It seems like they had a real singular goal in mind for like how they wanted each piece of the puzzle to play out, and I don't know. Maybe they just didn't have enough time for it or what. But yeah, that was real disappointing.
And I think this is
some Yoda action right here, where I am totally cutting up clones.
You can show people how the Yoda flies through the air and does his business. The one thing I was actually really surprised to see is like original movie footage. That stuff I thought was like sacred, like gold. George Lucas kind of like left that locked up and didn't pull it out.
Well, didn't they have? I mean, they had some of that. I think in like the last Rogue Squadron game. Maybe?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not like they're not above doing it, but yeah, that was kind of surprising. I wasn't expecting to see any of that stuff in there.
I'm gonna throw some questions at it while you whip some robot butt with
word.
I guess those are clones.
Yeah, no, those are some fat clones right here.
So this comes from Ray Dolly in New Zealand. How does gameplay and battling compare to Jedi Knight 2 and Jedi Academy?
Jedi Knight 2 is a lot better. I mean the look of the saber battles in this game is better, I would say.
Yeah.
But like as far as the actual feel of the combat, like Jedi Knight 2, that's where it's at. That's a lot better than this is.
This comes from Michael Higgins in Westfield, Massachusetts. How much of the gameplay like Jedi Knight 2 or Jedi Outcast, or Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast actually?
I don't know. I mean, this is real beat 'em up.
Traditional hack and slash.
Yeah, it's like you're running around, you're mashing buttons. There's some combos and stuff, but
and we were talking about it's very similar to Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
Yeah.
Return of the King was super cool. It had a bunch of stuff. It was really long. But the one thing that makes it, aside from the action, seem a whole lot like this is straight up that bar.
Yeah.
It's like, same thing. Remember Lord of the Rings? You had that bar, you built it up, and then you got it, the same kind of scoring system.
Yeah. So it's a lot more comparable to something like that than even a lot of the other Star Wars games out there.
John Vino in New York wants to know, is there any difference between the PS2 and Xbox version?
You know, surprisingly, no. I would almost say that the PS2 version is a little more impressive just because it actually does more with the visuals, I mean, for that hardware than the Xbox. I mean, they look almost identical.
I gotcha. This one comes from Tony Kussler in Billings, Montana. From what I've seen, Anakin has evil lightning force moves. But what does Obi-Wan have? Just force push?
He's got force push. It's like when you're actually playing in the single player, like, oh yeah, these guys are.
Oh yeah, these guys are tricky.
I don't think these guys are even in the movie. Like, it's just they decided they needed some ninjas for this game. The thing about Obi-Wan is that like he has this mind trick ability he can do when you're playing the single player. So like you're just sort of like running around. You're basically turning these droids on one another and like all the clone army and stuff. So yeah, that's sort of like his equivalent of the lightning. It's not as good, but it does the job.
Excellent. I think that's about all the time we have right now.
All right.
We're going to kick it over to our good friend Rich Gallup. Before we do that, we're going to go ahead and take a look. Have you seen this new Burnout Revenge trailer?
I saw a little bit of it. Yeah,
pretty awesome.
It looks dope.
So for those of you at home that haven't seen this yet, go ahead and check out this clip of Burnout Revenge, and then when we come back from that, we're going to check in with Rich and Bethany, who's standing by with Fire Emblem. Let's go ahead and take a look.
And we are back. Bethany, what's going on?
Not too much.
I like that. You like those clone ninjas?
Yeah, they're pretty interesting.
They're all kinds of crazy interesting. But we'll take it. Anyways, why are you here today? What game are you going to be playing for us?
Fire Emblem, which might sound like a repeat of
You already did that a couple shows ago. What are you talking about? Fire Emblem.
But wait, this is a GBA Fire Emblem. This
Oh,
is not
okay.
the GameCube Fire Emblem. So it is in fact a different game.
Oh, okay, fine.
So
this is Fire Emblem: The Sacred Stones for the Game Boy Advance.
Right.
Now, the original Fire Emblem came back in the States way back in November of 2003. Do you remember who reviewed that?
I believe it was me.
Oh, yeah, you did. What'd you think of that game?
That game was really great.
You liked it?
I really love that game. Yeah.
What was so great about it?
It just it played really well. You know, the classes were all really interesting. The characters were all really interesting. It was pinned by a really good story. There was just so much stuff you could do with the game, and even after like you beat it once, you beat it on like a different difficulty. You could play as different characters and stuff like that. It had a lot to it, and it had a lot of soul to it. It was a really great game.
Great. Now let's fire up this one here. Check it out, shall we?
Okay. Yeah. So
What's going on right now?
Okay. Well, I'm just in a battle trying to protect this cleric who apparently has defected from this empire. Basically, there's been 3 Fire Emblem GBA games that have come out. But yeah, the one that we got over here was the second one that came out in Japan, which was like a story prequel to the first game that came out. But
Okay.
we still haven't gotten that one. That one's not coming out. This game is a new game with a new storyline, so it's not connected to that game in that way.
Okay.
But gameplay-wise, it's really, really similar. I mean, people who have played that game should be recognizing a lot of similarities right now. It plays almost identically to the other GBA game, and it shares a lot of the same characteristics.
Now, I remember reading from your review from the original Fire Emblem, one of the great parts are all the crazy characters that come along and join your party.
Right.
How many characters did the first game have?
Oh, gosh.
Millions? Zillions?
Not quite that many, but it did it did have a lot of characters. This game looks to be carrying that on. We've got a whole bunch of people already, and I'm not really far into it yet, so
Right.
be meeting a lot of interesting people along the way.
And they'll just pretty much come up to you and say, hey, you're beating people up. I would also like to beat people up. Can I come along? That kind of stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. Some of them Some of them will just join you as part of the story. Some of them, like, you'll see that there are, like, houses and stuff on the screen. Sometimes you go inside, there are people hanging out waiting to be recruited, and stuff like that. And there are other characters that if you have a specific person, critical, a specific person talk to them, then they'll join up. So yeah, there's plenty of people hanging out to recruit at various stages.
And it looks like there's all kinds of experience gaining and leveling going up.
Yep. This game actually has some non-story battles to it to help you level up. Like in the previous GBA Fire Emblem, you were kind of on rails from location to location. In this game, you actually get an overworld map between missions where you can actually go back to locations that you visited before. So you can fight some battles against monsters and actually earn some experience. Whereas before, in the other game, it was good, but you had to be really mindful of keeping everybody leveled up. And oh no, he died.
Oh no, and that sounds like a great place for one of our questions, actually. Do we have graphics for questions today? All right, then. So our first question comes from Greg in Arizona. He wants to know, once your character died in the first game, they were gone for good. Is that still the same with the Sacred Stones?
Yeah, that seems to be a kind of hallmark of the Fire Emblem games. Once your character dies, that character is gone. There is no take backsies, there is no res, there is no nothing. So if you want them to hang around, you have to be really careful and not do what I just did, which was to put a caster right in the path of danger.
So is there one character specifically that's you?
There is a main character, and if that character dies, the game is over.
And which character is that one?
That character is the princess of this kingdom that has recently been taken over, that she is attempting to find her twin brother, who's the prince of the kingdom, who has become lost in this great big war where their neighbors have started invading them for no particular reason.
They never have any particular reason. They're bored and
something has happened. The good kind king of the neighboring kingdom has decided that no, he wants to go conquer everybody all of a sudden. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on there.
Cool. Well, let's ready for some more questions.
Sure.
You keep beating people up. It's okay.
I'm beating him.
This is from Scarecrow. You know him, Mark Townsend, one of your mods, isn't he?
Yeah.
All right. He's from Indiana. He says, "Hello, Bethany. I have one quick question for you. In this new GBA Fire Emblem entry, are there enough differences from the first for me to get very interested?" That's his emphasis. Very
interested. Well, I mean, the game plays really similarly to the first GBA game so far. That said, there are some changes, like I said, the random battles that you can get into, aside from the main storyline that you can use to level up characters. Another difference between this game and the previous GBA Fire Emblem game is that usually when your characters get to level 10, you get a special item. You can change their character class, which is an upgrade, and change them to a different character class. In this game, you actually have a choice of a number of different classes that you can make them. So, like, each class has like a couple of different options. So usually there's like one normal upgrade, and then there's like a specialist upgrade where you can turn an archer into like a sniper who is
snipes with arrows, or
yes.
Oh, okay.
Like or sniper and.
It seems like it has a lot of like little micromanagement and numbers and juggling that makes any game like this really stand out, because there's so much for you to pay attention to, and you get to juggle everything, and a big party to deal with.
Yeah, customizing your characters and building your party is fun. There's lots of fun characters to play with in the game. It's just definitely. But yeah, I mean, as far as like this game playing like a totally different game, no. But I mean, the other Fire Emblem was a really great game, so it being so similar is not necessarily a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
One last question. Daniel Perez in Brazil. Has any compatibility between the GBA and GameCube versions been announced?
Not that I'm aware of. You can This game, like you could with the first game, you can take your party members against somebody else with a copy of Fire Emblem and with a GBA copy and do like a duel and stuff like that in the arena. But there's no, to my knowledge, there's no compatibility with the GameCube version.
Not to rule it out yet, though, because although this game comes out when?
I believe this game is currently scheduled for May sometime.
23rd. My mom's birthday, actually.
Oh, very good.
A good present for her. But the GameCube version doesn't come out for some time afterwards. Correct?
Yeah, the GameCube version is still a ways off. Just came out in Japan not terribly long ago.
So they could sneak something in.
It
Maybe. We'll see. We'll find out. Maybe we'll learn more about it at E3.
It's true.
Are you ready for E3?
I'm getting there. I'm kind of hit the calm before the storm. I'm serene.
Yeah, that's totally the place to be right now.
I'll wait to flip out when I get there and go, oh my god.
No flipping out. It's going to be a great show.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, thanks for coming by, Bethany.
Sure, no problem.
Appreciate it. Now, coming up next, we have a phenomenal exclusive. We teased you with it at the beginning. Now, later on, we're going to have a trailer for Gauntlet the 7 Stars. But coming up next, we have a 2.5-minute trailer for a little game a lot of people are looking forward to. Here's a couple hints. It's coming out this year, only on the PlayStation 2, and it features a girl with a hula hoop made of, like, knives. Give up? All right, SoulCalibur 3. Check it out.
Transcending history and the world, a tale of souls and swords, eternally retold.
That's some hot action.
That game looks real good.
The hula hoop with the knives is where it's at.
It's totally where it's at.
You see her around her legs? She was just jumping?
That's deadly.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, that should be cool. And it's coming out this year.
That's awesome.
And on the PlayStation 2. Now, if you want to know more about SoulCalibur 3, and by more, I mean just watch that trailer over and over again, it'll be on the site, like, very soon.
Right on.
It'll be up, I think, right after the show, and on the site right after that. Check it out. Exclusive, GameSpot, hooking up.
Speaking of also big exclusives, don't forget, 6:30 is about the time frame you want us to start checking our site out.
That's right.
But in the meantime, we got some other stuff still left for the show, don't we?
We have all kinds of stuff. Actually, right now, we have some other exclusive stuff on the site right now for a couple of Midway games. Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks and Gauntlet 7 Sorrows.
Now, I'm a big fan of the Liu Kang and Mortal Kombat me, we're down. I need some more Mortal Kombat.
And it's coming for you.
When's it coming?
Let me see. I wrote it down right here just so in case you'd ask me that very
Put
question.
you on the spot, sorry.
Oh, wait, no, I didn't write it down.
But
soon. I know Gauntlet's coming out in October.
Right on.
And John Romero's working on it.
I hear there's going to be some business in there.
And I would assume that Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monk's coming up right around the same time.
And I think Tom Holland, John Romero, didn't they have some multiplayer levels in Area 51 or something like that?
I think so. They had some part of the game.
I've been playing some Area 51.
How is it?
I like it.
Yeah? We had Zach up here.
Yeah, totally.
That game looked fun.
David Duchovny does a good job getting this freaky alien voice work done. Yeah, I like that. But there's this Episode 3 movie footage that we probably shouldn't show anybody over here. It's part of the Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith game. A lot of the questions that have been coming in have been asking us, should you guys get this game or not? How does it compare to Lego Star Wars? I've played tons of Lego Star Wars. I've actually beat Episode 1, 2, and 3 on Lego Star Wars. Still have yet to unlock the cool little bonus thing on there.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of tough. You got to gather all these little things together.
Yeah.
And me and collecting a bunch of stuff.
That's right up my alley. I'm totally all over that.
I need to hand it over to you.
Everything.
Yeah, if you got that disc, I'll hand you that Xbox, and there you go.
I will play. I'm playing Psychonauts right now. I already beat the game, but I'm at like level 95 out of level 100, which means I just need to go around and pick up some cards and stuff. I'm totally doing that right now because I need that extra cutscene.
Here's one of the questions that came in. This comes from Ozzie Smith in Woodstock, Georgia. How does Revenge of the Sith stack up against Lego Star Wars? In my opinion, Lego Star Wars got a lot of good stuff. Really, it's kind of like two flavors of the same thing, because really, it's like you got the sword, you're hitting stuff with the sword. You got the force power, so you're pushing stuff, pulling stuff, and doing that. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, goes deeper into the force powers. And of course, it has the realistic look of the characters and the people based on the movie. Lego Star Wars, of course, the cute Lego stuff. A lot of the same stuff. There's probably actually more gameplay and things to do in Lego Star Wars, actually, because it has Episode 1, 2, and 3. But that's really what it is. Look at the graphic style. That's the main difference. And then there's more to Lego Star Wars. So I like them both.
They both look like total rentals to me. I'm honest with you.
Lego Star Wars, there's enough there to keep you busy for at least 2 or 3 days.
I think I'd buy Lego Star Wars
Yeah.
as like a show of support for the concept.
There you go.
And then Revenge of the Sith, they're already going to get enough money out of some people anyways. They don't need my money to buy the game, but I would definitely rent it just to watch those movies and unlock stuff and beat up ninja clone troopers with Yoda.
I've got some more questions here. If you
Sure, let's rock them out. We still have to show the world premiere, world exclusive Gauntlet trailer.
do you want to just go to that now? We'll get our questions straight.
I
and then
think,
we'll come back.
yeah, why not? Gauntlet 7 Sorrows, by the way, as we said, is coming out in October. This is exclusive. Midway hooking us up once again, so check it out.
This product is not yet rated. Midway proudly announces the return of Gauntlet. The Warrior, Valkyrie, Wizard, and Elf return. United on a quest of revenge and redemption. Battle cooperatively with up to 4 players, or for the first time ever, take the action online. The heroic alliance is resurrected. Gauntlet 7 Sorrows, coming winter 2005.
You ever got like the actual
Arcade
machine?
Yeah, totally.
No way.
It's not the good. It's the newer one. It's not the old one.
Yeah.
So I don't have like the elf need food badly or anything.
You don't have any of that?
No, but it's still pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I played the first one. That game on the NES, it's hard.
Yeah, it kinda is.
You get through it, and like if you miss going the one certain way, you don't get like the password from the purple guy that's yelling at you, laughing at you. I had no idea what I was doing in that game, but I was not good at it.
So what do you think about that?
That game looks good.
Yeah.
As long as you don't get surrounded by 300 ghosts at once and you can't move unless you give up half your health, that game looks cool.
Hey, I'm getting a bunch of questions in, by the way, about our E3 coverage.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Can I ask you about some of our E3 coverage?
Sure can. I'll ask you. I'll probably end up asking you right back.
Okay.
I'll ask you one first off.
Okay, you
Ryan
do.
Chartrand, St. Louis Obispo, California. Any predictions of what you will buy at Del Taco?
What am I? Is that really what that?
That's his question.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to get a burger. That's the great thing about Del Taco. You get the burger, you get the tacos, you get the burrito. They don't care. You can mix it.
I can't believe the people at Del Taco haven't seen that documentary and hooked us up with something yet.
I don't know. The one question I have for everybody at home is why is it? I guess they were just guessing. Like it's very clear that it's either Alex or Brad
Right.
that had last week's answer.
Oh, yeah?
But or I guess that were last
It's
week's
extremely
answer.
clear.
But why did people say like Tor and Jeff? Where did that come from?
All right, basically, here's the thing. We'll get this out of the way now. The trivia winners, do we have that graphic available? No? All right. I don't have the list, so if someone could get me the list off my computer or anything, that'd be great. But we'll announce the winners in a second. Basically, the trivia question was Stupid Pants Operation. We ran it after the show last week. It's the 51-minute long documentary of us at E3 2004. It's great. It's us taking you down all the way from this very studio, packing everything up, all the way to the end of E3 where we're walking down the sidewalk to like CPK where we're going, game over, we're done. It's a great documentary. It shows all the craziness of those 10 days or so. And the title of it, Stupid Pants Operation, we didn't go into the documentary knowing that was going to be the final title. My man,
I was like, where was I? Because I remember I was like somewhere on like either business or vacation.
You were definitely on business somewhere.
And I came back and you guys were like, check this out. Guess what we're going to call the documentary? And I was like, what?
You were like, okay, but
Yeah.
it's a great name because what happens is about 7 minutes and about 17 seconds into the documentary, if you're watching it, it's that Brad and Alex are having a conversation about E3. You can tell they just finally got there. They're getting up for it. They're getting ready. They're still rested. And Brad says in his southern drawl, he's like, "It's a seat of the pants operation." Is what he says. That's my Brad impression, by the way. And he says it's a seat of the pants operation. And there's this pause, and Alex turns and says to him, "Did you say stupid pants operation?" And Brad's like, "No." Seat of the pants operation. So the correct answer to the trivia question we asked was, who is the editor that said the title? The answer is Brad. All those people who said Tor, Brian, me. Brian wasn't even working for us then yet. They were just trying to get in under the gun.
I gotcha.
And coming up, we'll get the list of the winners in my hand, and we'll announce the winners. But right now, let's take some more E3 questions.
Okay, totally. There was this question from Caesar in Anaheim, California. He was asking if this show was going to be pre-recorded and whether or not this question would make it on the air. I guess there's your answer. But seriously, though, E3 coverage. Here's a question that we got in from John Latour in New York. Are they going to have working... that's another reference to our documentary. Are they going to have working vending machines? For those of you that haven't seen the documentary yet and you guys are wanting to see this, head over to the big old headband on top of the cross of the site that says... sneak peek GameSpot E3 briefing. Click on that, scroll down, you'll see that there's actually a little link to the documentary as well as the videos page where we've got all of our GameSpot Live videos. So there's plenty. If you haven't seen it last week, you can still totally click on it and see it. You got some questions though.
I do. Daniel from the Netherlands wants to know, he really likes Stupid Pants as well, and he wants to know, are we going to have more documentaries like one around the office here?
There's actually a gentleman in the office today, and he's been here for quite a while now. He's standing right over there, and he is a genuine filmmaker. The gentleman we had last year did a pretty good job too, and he makes films as well, right?
He does.
This gentleman, though, you could find him on IMDb.
Whoa!
Yeah, totally crazy.
Coelho's all over IMDb,
really?
dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But
He's a spider in a horror movie, man.
So, was he really?
Check it out. Yeah, totally. It's a horrible movie. He will tell you all about it. Arachnia.
Right
and when you see the spider vision and the long arms coming through, it's all him.
Well, see, that's the cool thing is Ben Quillo did such a good job last year. We wanted him to be a part of it this year. So we have like Fullman like Voltron. There's filmmakers coming together.
Crazy.
Tell the GameSpot documentary.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes, so we'll have more.
Yes, sir.
Should I announce these winners?
Sure. Go
All right, why not? So the 6 people got it right last week, by the way, in alphabetical order. Eric Bennerdahl of Sweden, James Bonkowski of California, Matthew Packard of Ontario, James Sinclair of Florida, Matt Stotts of Texas, and Jordan Wald of British Columbia. Congratulations, all of you. We will send you your documentaries after E3 when we have time.
This is a pretty big question, so bear with me here.
Okay.
This comes from Gavin, a.k.a. GWX.
That question is huge. You can't just sum that up? All right, go ahead.
But the one thing I'm going to say is, for those of you that are going to be watching our E3 coverage next week, and keep in mind that's, basically you'll see stuff all throughout next week. The real action starts Tuesday, 11:45 Pacific Daylight Time. That's 11:45 p.m. Leading into our 12 o'clock show when the embargo lifts, going into Wednesday, May 18th. That's when you want to be hitting our site for sure. And so the reason why I said that is for those of you going to be watching live and you're going to be sending questions in live to us on the stage at E3 and asking developers all kinds of good stuff. If you could keep your real names, try to use your real names. That would be helpful because it totally trips us out when we're trying to do this. And the craziest E3, all the help that we can get, I'll put that out there. So this one comes from Gavin out of London, UK. I virtually live on GameSpot.com around the time of E3. I was shocked when I saw the PS3 and Xbox 360 screenshots on GameSpot.com of the 2 days of Vegas. Is that what we can expect from the next-gen console hardware in terms of graphics power, or are those screenshots just taken from FMV sequences, just like last generation we were promised such high-definition graphics, but just got fancy, smashing, high-end FMVs and not as good graphics? Kind of a crazy question, but
It is. I understand. Basically, what he's saying is this next gen just going to give us pretty cutscenes, or is it going to give us pretty games? And I think from what we've seen, we can't tell you what we've seen, but we can tell you it looks real good.
it looks pretty good.
It looks real good, and they can see it themselves kind of soon.
And like, I think it's like what, 2 hours?
2 hours from
Yeah,
now.
2 hours from now.
So you come back and you see our special after the MTV special. If you watch the MTV special, you don't have to. You can just watch ours. You will learn just as much, if not more. Although there'll be less hobbits and less rock, but it'll be all kinds of soul. Sure, check it out, and you will see what you're looking for. Trust me, it looks good.
Oh, this is actually a good question. This comes from Tim Teets in New York. Do you guys plan on putting any E3 footage in MP4 format for viewing on the PSP during E3? The answer to that question is no. Are you crazy? It's like, no, seriously, we want to do as many different formats. The PSP, well, we definitely want to put that out there. It takes a while to encode that stuff.
It does take a while to encode.
And so, obviously, E3 is about speed. But we'll definitely have the MPEGs and QuickTimes. We'll be cranking on the HD stuff. So you can expect all of them except for the PSP stuff. Maybe when we get back, we can do it for you.
You don't need the PSP stuff when you have the HD stuff.
That's true.
You should just hang out on the HD page, download everything.
And then convert it yourself, right?
Yeah, you can convert it yourself. It's really easy. If you're looking for how to do it, you can find our PSP Resource Center on GameSpot right now, and it will give you instructions, some good programs you can download. Check it out.
This is a good question. John Latour, New York.
Again.
Big in New York today. Are you guys going to release another E3 DVD? The answer to that question is a big affirmative. Yeah, you can expect to hear more on it. If not tomorrow, early next week, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be the biggest one we've ever done. There's going to be tons of great stuff on it. For anybody that had any complaints about not getting the full thing in terms of the press conferences, in terms of the stage show stuff, stay tuned to GameSpot.com for all the information and the details on how that's going to turn out, and you'll be very happy.
Yeah. Just pretty much every 5 minutes, I would go to GameSpot.com/E3 and see if we've updated it yet. And when the stuff starts coming, you will not be able to keep up.
The one thing that I saw crazy in the forums last night, and I want to touch on this before we move on,
Sure.
is there were people talking about what channel should they be turning on to watch E3 stuff. It's like, I'm sorry, did you guys read what we're doing? 24 hours over the course of 3 days. So that's the 10 o'clock from Wednesday, May 18th to 6 o'clock. That's like, we don't stop. It like goes. It's basically 8 on the spots lined up the first day. Second day is 9 on the spots because it's 9 hours. It starts at 9 a.m. And the last day, since it's a shortened day, is 7 hours. So it's like crazy. It's
Well, here's the thing, though. You're just talking about our live coverage.
right? That's just a
We're
live
going to have
coverage.
gameplay footage.
Yeah.
We're going to have trailers. We're going to have the press conferences. We're going to have interviews.
Totally.
You're going to want, forget the TV. Plug that out. Use the space in the outlet for a second computer.
There you go.
Another set of speakers, because you're going to be wanting multimedia surround sound system, everything. You want 2 computers going at once, like Matrix style. Your operator.
Totally. The
GameSpot.
other thing I saw that it was kind of a misconception that I was like, what are you guys talking about? Is people were like, oh, you got to have GameSpot complete, otherwise you're not going to be able to see that stuff. Not true.
No.
If you're GameSpot complete, you get to see it live. If you're not GameSpot complete, you got to wait like about an hour, which is the time it takes us to get the on-demand versions up.
Right.
So on the spot, GameSpot complete members that are sending in questions like right now for on the spot, they'll be able to get to do that live throughout E3.
Only them.
Only them.
Right.
And then, but everybody else at home that's not a GameSpot complete member that does want to see our live stage shows, they'll get to see them. They just won't get to see them live.
Right.
It'll be a little bit of a tape delay.
And if you want to see everything in HD,
Right.
you got to be GameSpot complete.
That's correct.
Which is, I have to go get an HD TV now, apparently, because I didn't realize how cool HD was until these movies came out.
Now, did you see that other thing that we're gonna have there? Have you checked out
Seen
Game
what?
Center at all?
Oh, Game Center. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
It is. It
Yeah.
looks cool. They're
Yeah.
gonna have demos of that and be showing some games and how that's gonna work. And people should stay tuned for more information.
All kinds of craziness.
So what you got? I can talk about E3 for the rest of the day.
I think we should wrap this up and,
Okay.
and move right along.
Right on.
Because we got to start packing and getting ready to go.
That's right.
All right, so coming up next, last week we showed off part of the E3 2004 DVD. We showed you the Stupid Pants Operation, the famed documentary. There's another good video on the DVD.
That you did.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah,
it was
really
the
good.
best of E3 2004. All I did was turn on the camera. It's the editors that make this thing. It's basically last year's best of E3 awards, broken down, interview style. We've been using that a lot lately. This is where we got it started. Where all the editors talk about their favorite games from E3 2004. Now, I want to give away. We gave away 12 DVDs so far. Apparently, these are in demand all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And because people asking where you can order them. You can't order them anymore. Find them on eBay. Try to find them with friends. I think we're pretty much out of them.
You're gonna
I have the last box under my desk.
You're
right
gonna
now.
try to hook some more people up to that?
I'm going to give away 12 of them.
There you go.
Is that good?
That's pretty good.
All right, I'm going to give away 12 more DVDs. And the trivia question is, GameSpot Complete members, using the form on the bottom of the page, give me your full name, give me your mailing address, and I want you to answer the following trivia question, which you can find on the site, or you can just watch this following video, and we'll give you the answer. The question is, what was GameSpot's best puzzle/rhythm game of E3 2004.
Whoa.
It was a good game. I want to see more of this game when I get there. It's kind of obscure.
Oh, that's right. I know
exactly-
which one it is.
You know
Yeah.
what it is. I'm sure a lot of people know as well. And you should fire that in right now because the first 12 to do so, the full mailing address, will win themselves the DVD.
Right on.
We'll send it off to them.
I keep on getting these awesome questions,
All
by the
right,
way.
we'll give me another
I
question.
got one other one here. John, New York again. Have you taken the slowdown at the site during E3 account? For those of you that remember last year, there was a brief moment where GameSpot was experiencing so much traffic that it was a little slow.
Right.
A little more than just a little slow. It was crawling there for a while. But this year, no. Yeah, our tech guys tell us there's not going to be any trouble.
Have you tried downloading anything recently, by the way?
No, what?
Like just in the last few days? Blazing.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's
Super
crazy.
fast?
Yeah.
Right on. They open up the pipeline for
I was
E3?
pulling footage for Let's GameSpot. By the way, Let's GameSpot, it's back. Check it out, episode 87. It's good.
What about
Funny.
for all the folks that have been asking for about button mashing? Don't worry. As soon as we get back to
coming
E3, we'll do it.
Yeah,
totally.
it's totally coming back.
But enough about.
I'm ready to go, dude.
All right, let's do it.
All right, cool. We'd like to thank Ryan, good show. Alex, good show. Bethany, good show. All of the crew. You are going to see us so much next week.
So much.
It's going to be great. We're going to bring it to you live, all show long. The only place you need to be for E3 is right here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Next week.
That's not really, I can't really say we'll see you on the spot.
Yeah.
But we'll see you here anyways. Enjoy the best of E3 2004.
This was the 10th anniversary of the Electronic Entertainment Expo, and it was certainly an exciting year for the show.
I thought it was pretty exciting because, we had the release of 2 new handheld platforms.
They kind of had it covered. You had a lot of good games. Plus, you had the new hardware in there saying, "Hey, I'm over here. We're coming soon."
And all the regular consoles are mature now, so we're seeing games at pretty much the highest potential of all those platforms.
So you had the stuff for this Christmas. You had the stuff for the years in the future. It really kind of tied it all together in a really nice way to kind of make what would normally be a transition year as the platforms get older and older into a much more exciting show.
I think it really showed that the game industry is maturing and just getting a lot more serious about just delivering high-quality games that can really grab you right from the get-go.
It's like it's just a tidal wave, and it's like trying to pick out the ones that are really good is almost impossible. There were a few though that definitely stood out to me.
Our Best Technology Award goes to the Sony PSP, which is Sony's upcoming handheld.
It's all bananas.
It just has all this cool stuff. It's got MP3 playbacks, it does movies. The games, I don't believe that the games will look as good as they look in the the video that they show, but the games look really good. It's got the Wi-Fi stuff, so it's going to have the internet connectivity, it's got USB 2.0 memory stick. They just jam it with all this technology, and it's just impressive. Just for someone who loves gadgets, you look at that and that is the ultimate gadget.
Whatever. That's great. That's all I want out of a portable gaming system. Really, is more bad boys too.
The PSP just seems really impressive. There's just a lot of really cool features and a lot of cool games for it.
Sony's already announced a ton of great sounding games for the system, so we just absolutely can't wait to get our hands on them.
When the Legend of Zelda trailer came on at the end of the Nintendo press conference, we were all really taken by surprise because a lot of people expected Wind Waker 2, we were going to get the cell shading again.
Horsies. That's what the kids are all up in a tizzy over with that Zelda trailer.
People at the Nintendo press conference were crying when the trailer came on, I'll just put it that way.
I think what was really surprising about the Zelda trailer was just that we weren't really expecting to see a mature Zelda.
Zelda. I'm just going to say what probably other people have said, in that I liked Wind Waker. I thought that was a great visual style.
I felt like Nintendo kind of backpedaled with the new Legend of Zelda game by going back to the old look of the main character Link, as opposed to sticking with the really inspired art style of last year's The Wind Waker. I sort of miss the Wind Waker's look already.
That trailer was presented so well and just cut together so nicely, and the use of music was great. Was that I have to admit, when you see him coming up over the horizon, and then the camera pans along the side and you see dude on a horse and the music starts swelling and it spins around and you see it's him, and that's kind of cool. But then actually the trailer actually kicks in and he's whipping dudes' asses and he's knocking guys off of horses. I got chills. I have to admit it. I got chills.
Did anyone really think that San Andreas was going to be at E3? I mean, did anyone dilute themselves that much to where they thought that Rockstar would actually show that on the show floor?
Obviously, any Grand Theft Auto game is going to get a lot of attention, and a lot of people are going to be really eager to see it.
Yet, deep down, I really wanted it to be, because that game was awesome.
Being able to basically play Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society, I think that's a really cool premise.
I don't think any of us went in there going, can't wait to play San Andreas, but it still hurts a little bit in here when it's not there, especially seeing the screenshots of that game. I'm a big fan of Menace to Society. I'm a big fan of Boys in the Hood, and you know, I'm going to make the call right now. The theme song for that game, Ice Cube, How to Survive in South Central. You heard it here first. They're going to do it. I can feel it in here that's going to be the theme song. You'll hear it in the commercial. You hear it everywhere. That's going to be the song. The people at Midway working on Mortal Kombat are out of their damn minds. No fighting game should be as big as Mortal Kombat Deception's looking like right now.
You know what? Deception isn't so much a fighting game. It's like some kind of crazy, violent variety show. I mean, you've got your chess, you've got your puzzle game, you've got your adventuring. Like, where's the fighting game buried in all that?
But no, they're going to add this puzzle fighter-like game. They're going to add this Archon-like game, all with Mortal Kombat characters, all fighting, all that's online.
We've got a bunch of old-school Mortal Kombat fans here, so we are just absolutely overjoyed that this sequel is coming out and it's going to have online play, because arcades are totally dead, but we still want to play and beat up other people, especially really late at night.
Those guys must be like mainlining caffeine or something to get that game out by October. It's huge.
All right, so yeah, here's my interpretation of Jungle Beat. It's a platformer with drums. What? It's not a controller. You're not like analog control. You're sitting there smacking this one to run to the right.
So weird.
You're smacking this one to run to the left.
It's the kind of weird that Nintendo really needs to get back into in a serious way.
And you're just going, ah! That game's going to be awesome.
Dang kids. Watch it. You'll scare my ducks.
So our choice for best massively multiplayer game of E3 2004 was EverQuest 2. I think what was really impressive about it was not just its great graphics and that full voiceover sound, but also a lot of little details that really help make the game seem not just like a game, but actually a living, breathing world.
I'm not jealous of the people working on EverQuest 2 because they have to make a sequel to one of the most successful online role-playing games of all time. They have a huge task ahead of them, but EverQuest 2 actually looks like it's shaping up really, really well. It's definitely a cut above pretty much all the other online RPGs that were on display at E3, and that's why it was the easy choice for our award for Best Online RPG of the show.
Silent Hunter 3 looks really cool because the graphics are really good, and also because they're really showing a lot of detail and modeling basically the interior of a real-life submarine.
It just simply looks beautiful. It's the best-looking naval game I've ever seen.
Yeah, war simulations are a genre that's been kind of dying off in the last few years, so it was exciting to see Silent Hunter 3.
You can actually do things you could never really do in other submarine games, like walk around the bridge and climb up to the deck.
On the one hand, it's got enough depth to appeal to the old-school war gamers who want a real hardcore submarine simulation, but it's got enough visual flair to really appeal to casual people who just want to shoot torpedoes and blow stuff up.
So the game that won our adventure game of E3 2004 was Dreamfall from Funcom. These are the creators of The Longest Journey, which was one of the best adventure games since Grim Fandango. The thing about Dreamfall is that it not only looks really beautiful, but it also looks really promising as far as gameplay goes. There are a lot of new features, like the focus field, which will attempt to kind of split the difference between a video game controller and a mouse and keyboard. The game looks really promising, and we hope to see more of it.
Yute Saito's Odama purports that samurai warfare can be seen as a metaphor for pinball, or the other way around. It's actually one of the most surprising games of E3, and it was actually a lot of fun. It's this pinball game, but you've got these samurai battles being fought right on the battlefield. It was really mind-boggling, but just really cool at the same time.
Because Lord knows I'm trying to shuffle through all these Odamas, like, there's this Odama, there's that, oh, Yute Saito's, that's the one I want.
It was a really tough category this year. There were a lot of really big games, but I'm pleased to announce that our best military pinball game for E3 2004 is Yuji Saido's Odama.
There are plenty of games that are just crazy, but that game has the potential to also be really good. Like the gameplay mechanics, the concepts that are underneath it, the underlying ideas are good. They're potentially really impressive and really excellent. So no question that was the most impressive puzzle game at the show.
Mario is a paper airplane. How can you go wrong?
The first Paper Mario was just running on the N64 hardware, and even then, they made good use of the hardware and they made it look good. And so I expect even better, more intricate stuff from Paper Mario 2.
Most role-playing games just look so cut and dried next to Paper Mario 2. It's this really kind of whimsical and clever and really fun game, and even though we liked seeing so many kind of violent and crazy games at E3 this year, it was really nice to see a kind of a family-friendly but a very kind of Pixar-esque, fun-for-all-ages game like Paper Mario 2 at the show.
When I think of the pageantry and the tradition behind professional football, I think deep down we all think of Steve-O and David Arquette and Carmen Electra. These are the names we think of when we think of the Hall of Fame of football. There's a lot of tradition, and the fact that they were able to get these obviously highly touted players to be in their new football game is really an accomplishment. Okay, yeah, so that whole celebrity thing is just total junk, but whatever, that's not the point. The point is ESPN NFL Football is a totally dope game this year.
What was really impressive about The Sims 2 is that we've heard a lot of promises about how The Sims 2 is going to deliver all this cool stuff. When we saw it at E3 2004, it really started coming together, really started looking like a really promising game.
The game just looks phenomenal. The new 3D engine does a whole, I mean, it doesn't just look better, it allows a whole lot of other things that you could never do before in terms of just interaction and the immersiveness, the attachment you'll have with these characters. It's a whole new game, and it looks incredible.
The Sims 2 is going to be the sequel to the best-selling computer game of all time, so it's got some pretty big shoes to fill. The original game was really risky and really innovative, and it looks like the sequel is shaping up to be much the same way. It's definitely making a lot of interesting departures from the first one.
You know what, I don't even like racing games, and I love Burnout 3. You pick it up, you run into a bunch of other cars, it's awesome.
As it stands, Burnout 3 is a really amazing game with a lot of really amazing crash physics that moves at a really blinding speed, and it's hot.
There was probably no other game at E3 that was nearly as fast and as intense as Burnout 3 was.
It appeals to that whole subversive side that makes everyone love Grand Theft Auto so much. It's just wrecking stuff. It's just mayhem and chaos. It's going to have Xbox Live support, one of the first EA games to do that, and it's a game that deserves it, because crashing into other cars by yourself is great, but doing it with your friends, that's really where you create the bonds that last.
Zelda the Minish Cap was our GBA game of the show, basically because it's the kind of Zelda game that you used to play like on the SNES and the NES way back in the day. It's 2D overhead, but it's original. They're using the same art style as the Wind Waker, so you've got like the cartoony looking Link, but everything's 2D. And the hat that he has actually lets him shrink down to be a little pint-sized Link. So you can actually go inside like logs and ride around on leaves, floating down the stream, stuff like that.
I'm really stoked that they're taking away the lame gameplay.
Resident Evil 4 has got a lot more shooting, a lot less driving your character around like a tank.
I'm glad that they're turning Resident Evil into a game that people will be able to play and not just nerds.
Aside from the fact that Resident Evil 4 just looks really good, the new gameplay elements look pretty promising too.
Killing zombies is so like 2 years ago, so why don't you kill crazy humans?
God of War is one of those games where you have to see it in action to truly appreciate it, and just to see the really visceral combat and see this incredible combat system right in your face.
You're this Spartan warrior guy, you gotta go kill the God of War Ares, and to do that, you gotta kill a whole lot of people and a whole lot of creatures. That's cool.
But then I saw it in motion at the show, and it looks and moves really well.
God of War was a big surprise. The game has got some gnarly Greek violent action. Like you're pulling the wings off of harpies, you're stabbing minotaurs in the face. You know, it's good stuff.
So we picked Mech Assault 2 as our best Xbox game and best shooter game, which came as a surprise to a lot of people who were expecting to see Halo 2.
Halo 2, of course, looked great at E3. They let us play one, kind of capture the flag map for a little while, and that was fun, as capture the flag shooters tend to be. But Mech Assault 2 was the Xbox game that impressed us the most at the show. We got to fight against these huge towering mechs, which you can now get out of, and you can jack other players for their mechs, and
Mech Jack!
And the scale of the battle, the carnage that's happening on the battlefield, it really outclassed pretty much every other shooter at the show.
No!
I hate stealth games. I hate them. And Splinter Cell 3 looks totally rad.
Splinter Cell 3 was, I think, one of the most surprising games of the show just because it looked so good.
Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell 3 was not only one of the biggest surprises at E3, it was also the single best PC game of the show, as well as the best game overall, according to us.
I was having a hard time trying to figure out a game of the show, and then I saw Splinter Cell 3, and at that point I knew what it was.
This game really blew us away. We knew that we should expect something pretty good from it, since the previous Splinter Cell games have been definitely solid.
You know, the whole point of the game up until now has kind of just been hiding and dragging the bodies out of view. Now he's going to get real, and he's going to cut fools.
This one is adding an element of just sheer ruthlessness to the series that it's never had before. It just seems like this time, when you're playing as Sam Fisher, you're going to be a complete, utter badass.
Totally raw.
Completely badass.
Sam Fisher's getting raw.
He's stabbing people and twisting fools' necks off. He's shooting people.
Stabbing people.
He's holding people at knife point.
Dropping them off of cliffs.
He's doing everything he should have been doing in the first two games. And it looks incredible.
The game featured probably the most impressive graphics of any game at the show, and it's also coming out this year, which is absolutely great news.
And probably what's most impressive about Splinter Cell 3 is the fact that, unlike a lot of other games, which we've heard a lot about, are not coming out until 2005, Splinter Cell 3 is actually coming out this year.